This episode of A Waste Time with It's The Real is sponsored by the good people at Martell Cognac. Jeff, neither one of us is a sommelier. Is that how you pronounce it?
A sommelier.
We do not know what we're talking about when it comes to wine. We are not Gary Vaynerchuk.
No.
Neither one of us.
No, you're Eric, I'm Jeff. Neither one of us is Gary.
Yeah, so when we go to a party, though, we don't want to embarrass ourselves. We don't want to bring something that someone's immediately going to re-gift or, like, put in some cabinet and store away forever. We don't want to show up with some bottle of wine that looks fancy, but we have no idea what it's about. We're sophisticated men. We're not out here calling an Uber to go return our keg.
We're not showing up at your baby shower with a bag of hot dog flavored water and saying, hey, go to ItsTheReal.com/shop for more.
When we show up to your party, we only want to bring the best. So when we went down to see Wale and DZA and Kaz and Wale's whole team, we didn't want to just like show up empty-handed.
When you're coming down to New Orleans,
yes,
which is a nonstop party,
right?
First of all, it's got its open container laws.
Yeah.
Then you throw in the fact that it's WrestleMania.
So championship belts and wrestling masks and just people going crazy at all hours.
Yeah.
We decided to bring 4 bottles of Martell cognac. And by the way, Martell is the oldest of the 4 great cognac houses.
Eric, why do you know that?
Because I'm a smart person, Jeff, and only smart people mess with Martell cognac. They have a strong reputation for its great tradition and excellent quality to this day, and I'm talking 300 years of tradition, Jeff.
Wow. See, I was going to say that they have pleasant notes of plum, apricot, and candied lemon.
Oh, are you talking about the brand new Martell VS single distillery?
Yeah, the very same with the rich fruity flavors on the palate.
That's right. It's crafted from one source, which leads to richer taste and an intensely flavorful cognac. Jeff, only the best for Wale and DZA and Kaz and the rest of the team.
Yeah, but we also brought bottles of Blue Swift.
We did, and that's another dope thing because it's finished in Kentucky bourbon barrels.
I love Kentucky bourbon barrels.
Who doesn't? It's perfect for WrestleMania. It's perfect for Monday Night Raw. It's perfect for any of the wrestling events that we don't watch or have any idea about, but we know they exist. But what we do know is that when there's a party, you don't want to look like an idiot, and we definitely didn't want to look like idiots. So when we're coming to a party, you know that we're bringing Martell. If we're not, it's not a party. Run and Martell in that.
Yeah, brother.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Eric.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Back in New York City after almost a week away. We were down in New Orleans and then Atlanta. We went to New Orleans because Martell sent us down there to do this very here podcast about wrestling, something we know nothing about.
Absolutely nothing. Like, the most we know is that Vince McMahon voted for Donald Trump.
We do know that. We know WWE stands for World Wrestling Entertainment, but this podcast with Wale, with DZA, with Kaz was very insightful. We had a great conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's an honest attempt to try and figure out what we've been missing out on by not being wrestling fans.
Correct. And to be in New Orleans for what is essentially a convention. It's a city filled with wrestling fans there to celebrate wrestling, to dress like wrestlers, to go see wrestlers, to go drink like, I don't know, do all the wrestling things was interesting and new to us because, you know, we haven't been to Comic-Con.
No.
I think the closest thing that you could sort of relate this to is if we go to Summer Jam or something like that, and there's all super rap fans.
Yeah, but then if, like, we brought our mom.
Right.
And then we were like, hey, Mom, like, we're going to talk about rap over here. Enjoy the experience over there.
Right. So, but this is like for like days on end down there. We went to Wale Mania, which was after this episode was recorded. We met up with our friend Anise, who has been on this podcast before on a very early episode with Joe Mandy. Go listen to that.
Like episode 3.
Somewhere around there. And he's actually friends with one of the guys who was on stage at Wale Mania. And we found out that he is a true hip-hop fan and a wrestler. His name
is Kassius Ohno.
Kassius Ohno, formerly known as
Chris Hero.
And we mentioned him on this podcast, and at the time, we didn't even know who that was. And then we meet him in real life. And my favorite thing about the conversation with him and his girlfriend, Anise, is
shouts to Rachel.
They would all talk about wrestling stuff. Like real wrestling nerd stuff. And then Chris was nice enough to translate that to us.
So he would say stuff like, you know, it's like J. Cole not having any features on his album or whatever.
And when he said that, it was like,
yeah. That makes
sense.
sense. Yeah.
So that was really cool. I think we should have had him walk around with us and translate what was going on around town.
Yeah, I mean, like, what else was he doing besides being dropped from like 15 feet in the air?
It was crazy. Yo, he showed us this video of some dude holding him up and dropping him. We're like, oh my God, when was that? And he was like, a few hours ago. We're like, do you feel okay?
Yeah, are you all right? Do you need to go to the hospital?
And he's like, oh, I have a slight headache, but that's unrelated. We're like, this is nuts.
So we had some wrestling experiences down in New Orleans, but we were also there just to enjoy the city and do all these things outside of that, right?
Well, the last time we were there, you were in 7th grade, I was in 11th grade, and the biggest thing to us was going to the Superdome and getting a tour, and we left and told our parents that they call the AstroTurf there Mardi Gras.
Yes, which is an incredible fact.
So that, and our parents were like, yeah, I mean, we wanted to do,
museums,
culture
and
historical landmarks, but whatever.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras, fine.
So this time we got driven around the city by Nesby Phipps,
who runs with Lil Wayne and Currency and is a 4th generation New Orleans in New Orleans.
Leave a comment. Let us know whatever these people are called.
Yes.
And Pirate,
yeah. 4th generation Pirate.
So he showed us, Holly Grove, and he introduced us to B Mike, who is a big artist.
Yeah, he has a thing called Studio B, which is incredible. He took us around to the 17th Ward, 3rd Ward, 7th Ward, the 9th Ward. I mean, everywhere. Showed us where Anthony Mackie lived. Showed us where Solange lived.
Showed us where Solange used to live.
Yeah, Brad Pitt lived. He showed us
the Brad Pitt houses. I think that Nesby gave us an appreciation for what New Orleans is about, what New Orleans was about.
And we are about it. Jeff, when do you want to get into this?
Right now.
Yo, what up? It's Eric, a.k.a. Birdman316, a.k.a. Stone Cold Stunner.
Yo, what up? It's Jeff, a.k.a. Off the Rope, a.k.a. Gave Up Double Dutch.
Yo, what's up? It's Wale, a.k.a. Moon Salt with a little bit of cayenne pepper, so I'm like Moon Pepper.
Yeah, it's the Kush guy, Iceberg Big. One super kick away from being stoned forever.
Yeah, this is Waste Time with ItsTheReal. Guys, what's happening?
We out here, WrestleMania weekend.
It's Wale Mania.
Yeah,
I mean, happy Wale Mania to you and yours.
It's the precursor to WrestleMania weekend. It's the annual, lit event. You know what I'm saying?
What is it? This is WrestleMania 34.
34, I believe. Yeah, yep. It's WrestleMania 34.
Are you more excited for this one than you have ever been for any other one?
I don't know. That's a good question. I won't know until the day of. That's when I know if I'm into it.
How many WrestleManias have you been to?
Maybe 4 or 5.
That's a lot. That's a lot. What was the first one?
Third. I don't know. Matter of fact, I've only been to 4. Maybe I think it's only 4.
Have you been to any before you were like?
Nah, we can't afford no stuff. We can't afford nothing like this.
DZA, what was the first one you went to?
The first WrestleMania I went to was WrestleMania 27.
Where was that?
27? No, I think it was 28. It was in New York, MetLife.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's going back to MetLife.
That's where they going next year too.
It was surreal. Even though I had nosebleed seats up, my wife surprised me like, "Hey, I got your WrestleMania tickets." I didn't care where they was at.
You still went nuts.
I was going crazy.
Did you dress
I bought
up?
a Rey Mysterio mask.
Oh my God.
Oof. Yeah, I was living all the WrestleMania merch. I lived my best life. But then, right, my first time sitting ringside
was
my best friend right here. He set me up.
Where was it?
It was Dallas.
Dallas? Yeah,
the best one.
Was it Dallas?
Was it Dallas? It was Dallas.
At the Cowboy Stadium?
It was Dallas.
Oh, the super crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
What's that, like 100, like
100,000
people?
Yeah, that was the first time they did 100.
This is our first WrestleMania, and we don't care.
we just never ever got into it as kids, right?
You gotta figure it out.
It's the same thing as like Star Wars. When we had Just Blaze on and we talked about Star Wars,
I don't know. I'm lost.
We needed him to like explain it to us. We need you guys to explain what we've missed out on.
It's just probably like a never-ending storyline that started 35 years ago. Like essentially that's what it is. They never stopped and restarted and like, okay, introduce you to these characters again. It's all like started 35 years ago. Like if The Simpsons had like hella continuity, probably like that.
What was the one thing that got you into wrestling?
I mean, it was on. I had cable, and it was on Saturday mornings after Saved by the Bell, I think.
But like, what character?
I mean, it was just something. I don't even remember the time. It was just on, and then I was just like, yo, it's better than watching news. And then it's like, like I ain't had cable. I ain't had cable till like maybe high school.
Were you getting into like backyard wrestling? Were you like
I ain't never.
around?
I just liked it was the mainstream stuff was my vibe when I was young.
So storylines.
Yeah, yo.
And who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
I just like everybody. I just liked it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't really have a favorite to like Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold was doing anything, but like I was always watching it when I was a kid though.
And your siblings and like everybody.
Well, I had my family, my family would watch it, but like it wasn't like a big deal, until I like got older and I really like started understanding about what goes into it and the improv that goes into it and the writing and the how meticulous it really is. That's when I really started having a different appreciation for it.
Did you buy into it like hook, line, and sinker? Were you like, yo, this is real?
I think when I found out, I didn't care. I didn't even care.
When did you find out?
Early, like a very young age, like around the time I first started even looking at it. I didn't care. I was just like, this joint is tight. Like something about it was just tight to me. I don't, and I think that might be part of the beauty in it that I never actually took the time to be like, why? What is so great about it? Like it just is. It's just something that ain't. I don't gotta think too much. I can just look at it and enjoy it for what it is.
What are the storylines that you really got into very early?
Oh, when Randy Savage got bit by the snake, that was intense to see as I was a kid.
One of my first ones too.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
when Macho Man got bit by a snake.
Like,
you can see it on YouTube. It's on YouTube somewhere. Like,
did he really get bit?
Yeah, they really got bit.
Story. All right, so the real story, right, is that they pissed Jake the Snake off Damien before he could even perform whatever trick. It was all what they call it, devenomized, right? Devenomized. So they devenomized the snake in real life. This is real life,
not the storyline. This is real life. Right?
The real snake.
In real life.
In real life, this really happened.
Mind you, okay, like if you watch Friends. Right, Chandler or one of them I don't know the motherfucker's name, but
we
Chandler.
Watched Seinfeld.
Okay, let's say Seinfeld and Kramer. Like, let's say it was live, and like they had like some prior issues before the show, and they're doing a scene together, and like Kramer might have fucked up a line or something,
or said
and
the
Jerry
N-word.
Like slapped the shit out of him.
Yeah,
in real life because it's real time. Saturday Night Live and shit like that. That's exactly what it is. So when you're using animals,
how do you control the snake?
Right. So piss the snake off before the snake can get out the bag. So now Jake has to make the snake bite Randy Savage, who's like wrapped up inside the ropes. So the snake bites him and bites him for real, like really claws on his skin. Like you could check it out.
He's like tied him to the ropes, and he could, and it's just gnawing at his arm.
How much do you guys know about what's going on?
Well, we didn't know that until 30 years later.
We're in the information age now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like stuff like that still can happen. They don't use animals as much, but like, okay, for instance, last year SummerSlam was the last year before, but Finn Balor won SummerSlam, right? He was supposed to be anointed as the new face of the company. He probably have the belt for a year or anything, but literally in the last 30 seconds of the match, he got thrown into the buckle and popped his whole shit out right here. He still finished his storyline. He was supposed to win, still won, got the pin, but the next night on Raw, they had to announce that he had to give up the title. In real life, he's hurt. And 6 months out. Yeah. So they have to really rewrite everything that fast and figure it out. And now, us as people that know what's going on behind the stage or know some of the athletes, we like, damn, what they going to do? Who they going to give it to? We don't know. So we watching it like that. Like, it's still real to us, damn it. Like,
it's also very real to that snake.
Yeah,
were you more into, like, the athletics of it or more into the storylines of it?
I think both,
probably.
So you understood like what they were doing to their bodies when they were like taking those hits.
I didn't think about it that deep until I got older and like you see people's like, damn, like you know what I'm saying, like they really get hurt. Like these are our friends now. Like a lot of my friends, and then you see them like, damn man, like I'm sick right now. Like I wish I could just go out and perform.
Well, does Mark Henry actually get hurt, or is he that strong that he never gets hurt?
He's been hurt a lot. He's been hurt a lot, but he's also been like one of the strongest people on the planet, literally, for years.
And that's what he
actually
right?
The strongest people.
He folded what? He folded something. What did he fold on TV? It was something crazy like He folded
Like,
something. I
Like a
forgot
piece
what
of
it
metal or
was.
something?
It was like a piece of metal.
Yeah.
Something crazy. Something that's not supposed to be folded. He did it on TV live.
By the way, the strongest people on the planet are single mothers. Shouts to them.
So when you watch these guys now, like, what's the most fucked up things that you've seen like happen, like beyond like hitting people with chairs and ladders and stuff?
I didn't actually see it. I don't think nobody did, but I was watching pay-per-view when Owen Hart died.
Oh my god.
So that was probably
That's
the most
fucked
fucked up thing I've
Yeah.
ever
Okay.
witnessed on TV.
Less than people dying.
Yeah, funnier than people dying.
when Stone Cold got his neck broken.
Whoa.
When he got that
That's
was
real.
by Owen Hart.
And you gotta understand, he got his neck broken, but he still finished the match.
Word.
And like,
With a broken neck?
because he knew Kurt Angle finished it. Brock Lesnar actually
After he did the
he did a
450.
moonsault and he
Yep.
slipped off the rope a little bit.
He did it too far.
And he did it too far. But mind you, he's 320 pounds and he's doing a backwards rotation joint in front of
Shooting star press.
60,000 people.
And they didn't want him to do it.
And they didn't want him to do it, but he did it. He's like, okay, I'm improving, like acting. I'm improving. I'm doing this crazy move because it's gonna make the crowd go crazy. Slipped off the rope, broke his neck. Still managed to crawl over and whisper to Kurt Angle like, "Dawg, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up. Let's just let's finish the match." Bong. Or Undertaker when you know, I think he's been wrestling for like he's been in WWE for almost 30 years
Long
now.
time.
And he was 22-0, I believe, or 21-0 on WrestleMania. It's like, again, the fake stuff. But during the match where he fought Brock Lesnar, somewhere along the line he got a real concussion. He didn't know where he was. He was like fucked up. And like, you know, you got two types of fans. You got kids that are watching it, they don't know what's going on. But then like we watching it, like that was the last time it was in New Orleans actually.
Yep.
And he was like, yo, something ain't right. Like you could see his eyes glassy. Like you can't fake that. So I'm like, dog, he's fucked up. Like so, even it ended awkward. It like the ending, like he just probably was like, yo, just end it. Like you could tell, like the announcers was like, and that's a 20-year build up, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine watching a show or whatever the motherfuckers watch Game of Thrones for 20 years and then a motherfucker that never lose. Every episode he always win, and then the motherfucker just lose, and then and it's like anticlimactic. But again, that's what you like about it because that's real.
So how much credit do you guys give to the writers?
The writers win some and lose some.
Yeah.
It's win some and lose some.
Do you think
But it's like that for everybody. Like people who love Family Guy, they be mad when they killed Brian off. Like then they had to bring him back and had another dog and all that other stuff. Well, like, you know, fans be mad at the writers. They be like, yo, why did y'all give such and such the title? Why don't y'all give this person the title? Why don't y'all give that? That's the real part. That's the part that, you know, you get in the wrestling conversations and you're just passionate people. They be like, y'all talking about something fake. But like, we also talking about something we know is fake, but y'all arguing about this one and that one on Love and Hip Hop.
You took the words out of my mouth. They think Love and Hip Hop is real, so I don't
Wait, so
even
Peter
argue
Guns is
wrestling
not the dopest rapper out right now?
Yeah, wait for the hip hop.
Shout out to Peter. Peter, my man. Shout out to the OG. That's my guy.
Him and Fetty got the super crazy.
So if wrestling is fake, then is
I won't even say fake because injuries are real, bro.
fine. If
It's scripted, it's predetermined. That's what.
but then is Hulk Hogan's really racist?
Man, you know,
Well,
I'm
that's a
probably-
touchy subject because that happened off air, and I mean, you know,
I'm gonna say yes.
Damn,
it was
man.
very insensitive. and it's just crazy because he was like, you know, I mean, he wasn't my favorite when I was growing
It
up.
was mine.
I like
You
Ultimate
met
Warrior.
him.
That
I like Ultimate Warrior. That was my guy.
Hulk
Wait,
Hogan was
And
like,
Mr. Perfect.
like, I
Where
didn't
where
like
were you when you
Superman.
found out that he was out of pocket?
I was trolling on the internet, I think, and somebody like sent it to me, like, "Look at your guy."
Were you like, no?
Yeah, and
It
then I
was-
read
it
the
was
transcript,
difficult.
and it was like, damn.
My Hulk
And he
Hogan.
wasn't even like drunk or nothing. It was
Yeah,
like
he
he
was like that was like how
That
he
was to his
spoke
daughter.
that's how he
right?
talks.
Yeah.
to his son.
To his son? Oh.
And I chill with his son a couple times, like at events before. Yeah,
In real life?
yeah.
Son is a DJ.
What? So, and are they...
They all stay like super shocked. Like, oh my god, I'm so
they-
sorry. Can I get you guys anything?
What, reparations?
One reparations for Hulk Hogan's comments.
They're bringing him back or something like that? They're welcoming him back? Or?
I mean,
They trying
listen,
to.
this thing is he's made that company so much money.
Still.
It's almost like they have to kind of figure it out. Like dog, like
it's like Michael Jordan being blacklisted from the NBA.
yeah, it's like yo, like LeBron, like a LeBron scandal comes out. They're like, well, I mean, like it's just that bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know, people gonna be mad. But like, you know, society picks and chooses who they want to fuck with. Though they pick and choose who they want to be like, oh yeah. You can get away with that. You can get away with that. That's a bar. Cardi B can literally be like, yo, fuck everybody who support me. Good night. Nigga be like, yo, she's so real for that. Yo, she don't fuck with nobody. You know what I'm saying? We just want her to win. Like, yo, if Bow Wow says that shit, like, nigga, fuck you, nigga, I ain't it, nigga, fuck you in your heart, I'm shaking ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna barbecue him, like, you feel me? So it's all about it. Like literally, like since the beginning of time, it's probably been like that. Like Daniel Day-Lewis has like an Infinity Oscar joints,
right?
And Leo got like one win. Daniel Day's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go shopping today. I'm gonna pick up an Oscar, and then I'll probably like go to the beach. Like it's like part of his yearly routine.
Yo, what wrestler has never let you down?
Wrestler?
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn
Michaels. Shawn Michaels.
Nah,
Stone Cold let me down when he turned it. When he did that. When they turned
Stone
him
Cold
like
let me down.
when they turned his character like all like too comedy. Like it was too much.
I didn't like two-man power trip.
I don't know anything about Shawn Michaels. What is like his deal?
Shawn Michaels is probably like the
best
Kobe Bryant, probably. I would say Michael Jordan, but the only thing is Michael Jordan is like the that logo. That's like
Hogan,
that's like Hulk Hogan.
Flair. Yeah,
that's like Hulk Hogan for real.
Or Ric Flair.
Yeah, Ric Flair. Depending on where you're from, for real. In the South, they gonna probably say Ric Flair. Like the North.
Ric Flair is not the greatest.
I mean, it's a debate.
Debatable.
Like it's like an ongoing debate. Like
all right,
like
well let's choose sides.
Because Hulk Hogan was on TV more in certain regions, and Ric Flair was on TV more.
Right.
So they were depicted. The Ric Flair was flamboyant, like country flamboyant, successful,
a lot of
well
money.
Yeah, like Cameron, like Cameron,
right.
Gucci Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hogan
was
was
like,
more
okay, I'm
Lunchbox.
I have a movie. I have a movie. I have 4 movies coming out.
And I have vitamins.
I have vitamins, everything. Yo, he had vitamins.
But the vitamins game though, like let's talk about
it. He was like, yo, he hit us with that joke like it was like the Bitcoin. Like, yo, the vitamins game, B, the vitamins game, bro. Yo, what you do for a living? My dad, he's have you heard of vitamin world? My dad is the COO of that, actually. Do the vitamins game? Yo, it's pretty good.
So, did you watch the Ric Flair 30 for 30?
Yeah.
How was that?
I wasn't a Ric Flair guy coming up because I was, you know, like
he wasn't on TV.
I wasn't on WCW. I didn't like. I would catch WCW, but I was WWF, like, because I don't know. Maybe the characters were probably more catered to children or something.
Yeah, I think
that might have been it. I mean, this is all with an adult eye. I'm thinking,
right? But like also years ago, they were also like wild racist, right? The characters, like they were just like
some like you could dig up some wild shit on Ric Flair, but like. That's just like a rapper probably saying like the F word. I can't even. I'm like scared. Like I'm scared to say the joint that rhymes with maggot. I'm so scared.
Right.
That's like the dirtiest word in the planet. That's worse than the N word. Like you feel me? So like but like listen to like a hip hop album like '92.
Right.
They be saying that they weren't even bleeping that joint on the radio sometimes. Like it's crazy. Like it's just I don't know. So I just kind of look at like I try to take it like people from that. Like that era, like that were in movies and stuff like that. I try to take it for what it is. Like I'm sure they had black friends, like, but they might have to do a promo where they was like, okay, like implying some shit. I'm like, I mean, there's no way people like Junkyard Dog or like a lot of black wrestlers would probably hang around that shit if it was they really meant that shit. You know what I'm saying? But again, like it's entertainment. It's always been entertainment and working the people.
Right. So when they changed over from WWF to WWE, that was like because of the World Wildlife Federation, right? Or Foundation or something like that. But was it also like to acknowledge that it's entertainment and not just
No, I mean, I
an actual
sport.
sport.
They would have never turned. It would have been WWF still.
They just couldn't beat the World Wildlife.
They couldn't beat them.
All right, well, why don't you guys go in on pandas for a little bit? Yo, they're not endangered anymore as of like last week.
Because of designer. He's the sole reason they're not endangered.
Yeah.
Designer low-key might be at WrestleMania, to be honest, because I know he'd be rocking with Paul Heyman heavy too. He might low key be there. I caught him at
SummerSlam.
It was SummerSlam song.
Who else rocks with wrestling like you guys?
A lot of people on the low, but like it was always like,
Are people like ashamed?
Yeah, I mean, it probably.
People.
We always been like, dog, we gonna do us. Like,
No, you've been out front with
I'm
it.
talking about
Yo,
people.
Adam.
Like, I'm talking about when
Adam
I was
right
growing
now.
up. There was people like in the
DZA wants
trap
to go in.
that was watching pay-per-view wrestling. Like the whole hood would go over to somebody's house. And like it'd be like one of the niggas that's moving weight. Like everybody be watching the jump on his TV. Like it was like boxing matches when I was young. So when I be like everybody trying to like be like, oh you rock with that? Yeah, me too. I'm like, well, why don't nobody know? Why you got like what everybody else like?
Do people put money on wrestling?
I think it's fun sometimes. I mean, but they got
People
websites.
bet on that shit in Vegas, don't they?
There's websites for it, but you know, a lot of times, like I'm talking about like 10 minutes before the match, it like swing like to where it's gonna go. So if you're like a really, you could probably find out who's gonna win while it's going on. Sometimes because it'll be a lot of people from the office that bet on this shit. Like you know what I'm saying?
They
Rig
catch
it.
us off guard.
Look, he's like, we could fucking get away with this. His eyes lighting up like, for real? I have fucking Wi-Fi. I can fucking find out while it's going on. You mean I can find out if the Undertaker's gonna come out tonight?
All my money's tied up in vitamins right now, so it's just real tough.
Do you guys
Flintstone kids? 1 million strong and growing. And
has it changed at all now that you guys are friends with actual wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
Has it
actual wrestlers,
Yeah.
like they're aliens or something. Actual wrestlers.
But are you friends with anyone that you're just like, yo, I actually want them to lose?
Maybe we buy it. Well, we friends with a lot of people, so it'd be like friends going against each other. Like,
Yeah.
I think all
But
our
I
friends
try-
we want to win.
but I try like to never ask them about the storyline because if I know too much, I'm just not gonna enjoy it. So I like to be
Same.
surprised a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
But if I really wanted to know, I'd be like, all right, this was gonna happen.
Do you know writers?
Now we do, but
Oh.
that's another story. That's another episode.
That's the next episode. Yeah.
How many writers have you guys yelled at?
No,
None.
privately, a lot. Privately, maybe.
Have you guys affected any storylines?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. He affected the storyline.
What'd you do? What
I was
happened?
on SmackDown and they was having a hip hop battle. The two of the characters was having a hip hop battle with each other, and surprisingly, everybody took that joint serious, and the crowd went crazy because they were saying some stuff like, okay, one of the people was involved in
Scandal.
phone hacking situation.
Phone hacking
This
scandal.
is like real life.
In
This
real
real
life.
life.
Was it Piers Morgan?
All we're gonna say is that's how we just gonna keep it very vague.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, you know, one of the bars was like, hey, some referring to the real life. And mind you, I was at rehearsal. We was at rehearsal and they wouldn't do their lines.
Yeah,
They're like, nah, we gonna just do it on the thing. They wanted the real
They
reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we probably shouldn't even say this, but they edited it on YouTube. Like when I'm there, like they took the last part out because the bar was too like. But it was so
cut deep.
crazy though
Yeah.
that the dude who heard it was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Like
they
in the
real
crowd-
facial
in the
reactions
crowd,
was dope.
the reaction was like. You could literally hear it was only adults like, oh shit! The kids were like, and that's I think that's what wrestling is. Though.
Mhm.
That's what it is. It's like that sprinkle of reality. Like you gotta understand, like you can't rig all the way rig. Like if I throw something at him and it bounced back, I can't rig how it's gonna
Right.
bounce or affect him or whatever.
Yeah.
Like or if if his legs is tired, he's not moving the same, or he slipped. And the story got to change in the middle. I can't affect that.
How often are wrestlers allowed to switch it up in the ring?
I think I think the veterans do
The important ones can do whatever
they want. Yeah, like Shawn Michaels,
John Cena.
Bret Hart,
Yeah.
John Cena, like you know Mark Henry. Even
Yeah.
if wherever he's on the card, he can
Yokozuna.
still call a match. Like,
Yeah.
even if he's supposed to lose like in 2 minutes, he'd be like, "Yo, okay, this is what you gonna do? Throw me to the road, bomb, hit me, jump right there. I'm there. This is what they can whisper. They can whisper that, speaking codes to each other, and wow, we won't even know what's going on.
Yeah, and some of them have long hair, so like that's why they have long hair, so
Yeah,
they can like
exactly.
whisper the match to the other opponent.
Or the next
like, their
two
hair
Really?
will block them. Yeah, that's right.
That's
Couldn't
why
they just
I'm
use their
surprised-
Giving away the
That's
game.
why I'm
We're giving away
surprised
too much of the
Adderall
game.
is not the most potent used drug in wrestling. They got to remember. It's like this. Throw me into the rose battle room. A little slang word, undercut, jump, the elbow, then throw me to the corner, then do your finisher. Like just like that's all like a 6-minute sequence. You got to remember while screaming fans and all. That's why I be like, people will mess up. And like the super indie shows, when they mess up, they be like, "You fucked up, you fucked." The indie shows are savage.
Wait,
that's like
the fans yell that?
The fans
can tell us something is not like. I'm talking about the super hardcore fans, and those parties are fun to go to too. Our matches.
Yeah, you guys go to those too.
Hell yeah.
Japanese, like in
I was gonna say the New Japan.
They hit each other a lot.
You might go to ROH.
What you gotta go on Reddit, right? And then look
I don't gotta do shit.
You're in the vitamin game. These vitamin motherfuckers. Getting cocky, man. He got his soldiers. He got his shooters downstairs, man. But you can literally read like in Japan, the storylines are way more adult driven. Yeah. Like the nuances will be crazy. Like
they curse in Japan.
They curse
on television.
So is the difference between like growing up on wrestling and being like a fully grown adult when watching wrestling, like when you can go watch a Pixar movie and the kids get one thing but the adults get another?
Yeah, sometimes. But like
there's levels.
Like okay, like Monday Raw. This Monday Raw, right?
Coming up or
that's coming up after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They will not be the writers and the wrestlers will not be able to manipulate or control the fans. This is that's the most fun Raw to be at, the one after WrestleMania, because it's people from Ireland, China, people that stay in the extra day. It's just all
Is it down here?
Dog, they be like they'll be like probably in the same building. They'll be like, yo, like they'll turn like they gotta like right now they're probably the WrestleMania is already written. They're probably sitting there like, okay, they're gonna boo Roman Reigns. He's gonna have the belt. We have to figure out what Roman Reigns can do at the top of the show, because the fans might take over the show and boo for 10 minutes. Last year, Roman Reigns won the main event.
We booed for 10 minutes.
So what they did, what was it in? It was in Orlando.
Orlando, yep.
So Roman Reigns walks down, right? He walks down. The writers already know Roman knows he's gonna get booed, even though he's supposed to be a good guy, which is also another dynamic I like. He comes down to the ring. He gets on the mic. The boo he's like. And it's like it's drowning out his voice, and it's live TV. So what he did, he just sat there. He literally just went like this for 5 minutes.
Wait, well, why don't people like him if he's the good guy?
Because again,
another
reason why wrestling is fun, because the fans, most of the diehard fans, can feel the company forcing him on people and trying to make him what they call a mega baby face, like Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold. They're like, he always wins. He always gets to win. He always wins the same way. He doesn't have enough moves. He's not witty enough on the microphone. That's why CM Punk was so big, because CM Punk was like
against the company.
CM Punk was like even when he was good or bad, when he would talk, it would feel like an it wouldn't insult your intelligence. Like he'd come on the mic and say something on the mic and be like, "Yo, was he telling how he really felt?" Like, you know what I'm saying? So people,
he was breaking the fourth wall.
He was like
Deadpool.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He broke the fourth wall too. He broke the fourth wall a couple times. He was like, something.
I think he was a realistic Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah,
Stone Cold was like, if his character was real to any degree, it would be CM Punk. Like, that was the type of character.
And Daniel Bryan, though, because of what he went through.
Went against the mold. Anybody that goes against the grain, that you kind of know, that you develop the whole story and you know the background, like, they just keep getting shunned. Like, okay, this person he's the best in-ring performer, but they're giving it to somebody like a Roman Reigns because he sells T-shirts and he's good with the kids. So it's like, damn, you know, if you're a smart fan, that's what we call smarks, you're going to go for the underdog. Because you
Smarks is great.
You're gonna go for the underdogs because you want to see the underdog win. You want to see him beat the system. So
wait, so Roman Reigns is like a plant.
Roman Reigns is an industry plant, if that makes any sense. If you want to compare it to some people, to fans, and he's actually a good wrestler. His promo game isn't at a 10 yet, so that's probably why the casual or like the smart wrestling fan probably won't fuck with him. Because
is promo just for the television cameras, or is that for the in
promos? That's just your build up of the character. So Stone Cold will cut a promo and use that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so.
Gotcha.
So anybody that has a catchphrase that does promos usually are big stars because people want to hear you talk. So that's how they buy into your character. So Roman Reigns talking isn't potent enough for the people to buy into it yet. So it's like they see the prototype and he's built like a actual wrestler,
Right.
you know, so they see that and it sells, but the people not ready to accept it yet.
Have you ever read John 3:16, or is it just a thing on a shirt?
I've read John 3:16 because I was in private
Quote it.
school.
Mm.
I don't even want to do
Bible
it.
skills ain't
I don't even want to do it because I'm gonna mess it up, and my grandmother would kill me. But
Your grandmother is a loyal listener to our podcast.
Yeah,
Shout out
she's
to her.
gotten 27 minutes into the podcast.
yeah, she's definitely gonna listen. She's
I
gonna
was a
listen.
juvenile.
Yeah.
They just gave us grades to not go back to our PO.
Wait, so did it surprise you? Was Pusha the first one to really use the Ric Flair woo?
Oh nah. I think a lot of
Commercial.
a lot of people was using that, especially in the South. Like, I think Pimp C or Bun B probably mentioned it. But Ric Flair got a lot of hip hop references, man. He was very influential in the South. He was like
Shit, Killer Mike.
D boy. He was a D boy. Like, he was a country bumpkin that had a Rolexes and private jets. Pretty much what's going on right now.
Right.
So what other references do you think are like widespread in rap from wrestlers?
From wrestlers,
Yeah, like anything on that level.
Ric Flair is the
Ric Flair
most
might be the most
influential.
iconic, though, because I don't think people.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan got mentions, but I'm sure Ric Flair got more because he was more of a lifestyle guy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Also, Hulk Hogan has never been in any rap videos, I don't think. Ric Flair has. Ric Flair was just in the Migos one.
This is true.
Ric Flair, well, Hulk Hogan got
Yo,
mentions. So
how do
rap
you
videos
guys-
shut down?
How do you guys?
Fucking niggas away from me.
How do you guys? How do you guys feel when someone like goes from a good guy to a bad guy? Are you in favor of that?
Sometimes we love it.
When Shawn Michaels went bad when I was young, I was like, damn man,
Broke your heart.
the Rockers are broke up.
It took me a while.
And then now I'm over, and now I'm older. I'm like, I love it. The gift of that shit. Like, you can see him turning on his like storyline, his best friend. Like, he's like, no, we're not broke up. No. Sit there and boom, kick him and throw him through a fucking glass window. This shit is iconic for wrestling fans. Like, what? Again, it's storytelling. That's when like I realized like people ain't shit. Man. Like, but then Shawn Michaels like was like yo, bro, Marty Jannetty, you're not getting cool. Though. Shawn Michaels kicked you and beat your ass, and he's bad, but he's fucking cool. He's getting the bitches. He had different bitches like managing them and shit like that. And Marty Jannetty with the same outfit on.
Right.
Like, you know what? Nah, I'm fucking with Shawn Michaels again. Sorry, Marty.
Then a few years later, we got to see Shawn Michaels get turned on, and him turn back to a good guy.
He got
It's
turned
a
back to a
cycle.
good guy.
It's intense.
Wait,
It's a cycle.
what'd you think when Hulk turned to?
I loved it because
That was when we was getting older.
That
like,
was when we was getting older and we understood it.
Yeah.
So it was like, yes, it's something new. It's new energy. It's like,
you
all right, you want to
suspend
see
your
him as a bad guy.
disbelief. You're Gucci. Like, if you suspend your disbelief, it's like you go all the way into it. But if you like thinking about like, yo, that shit didn't. I'm not sitting there looking like, oh man, he didn't all the way hit him in his throat just now. I'm like, okay, that happened just now. Okay, what the fuck? How's this gonna finish? And like, what happens after? Like, and then like sometimes the motherfucker really do get hit in the throat, and they be like, okay, how they gonna finesse this joint?
Right.
A motherfucker tear his ACL. Seth Rollins tore his ACL and finished the match.
Literally, a lot of them do that
Niggas be
shit.
getting concussions. The girl, Sasha Banks, be doing the most wild, jumping through the ropes, landing on her neck. And
Losing teeth.
like,
What?
Types of wild shit.
Motherfucker got his front tooth
Jeff
pushed up
Hardy.
into his gum.
Ooh.
And up into his
Who was
gum.
that? Sheamus or
And-
Cesaro?
Cesaro. He finished
Yep.
the match though.
Yep.
They zoomed in on that joint. Like the commentators like, yo,
Yeah.
you talk about toughness. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, yo, I'm chilling. I'm gone.
Fucking Mick
Except
Foley
pin
lost
me.
his ear.
What?
Yeah, barbed wire match. But yeah, shit
Yo,
be fucking
barbed wire match. Yo,
barbed
so
wire match.
Don't piss off a snake. Don't piss off barbed wire.
right. What's the
Some
one? So
vitamins.
Hell in the Cell,
Royal Rumble.
cage matches.
The cage match is Hell in a Cell and regular cage matches, right? Or is it just Hell in a Cell?
Do you guys
Hell
fuck
in a
with like
Cell.
the more extreme stuff? Like
I just
when-
like the storytelling.
We like the
To
story,
be
yeah.
honest, like you could do it like in Japan. They had a motherfucking match that went an hour. Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada, right?
Okada.
Okada's the number one wrestler like ranked in the world, like as far as like believability, like how smooth his matches is and storytelling and all that. Number one ranked in the
You
world.
agree with that?
I mean, I'm just saying where he's ranked.
Oh,
like,
no,
the most,
wait.
the most consistent.
Yo, you don't like that? Yeah.
I was just
I like
asking.
No, I think
DZA
I
just
think
went
Kenny
from
Omega
like
better.
face to heel like real quick.
Hey guys, we just wanted to interrupt for a second to remind you that this episode is sponsored by our friends over at Martell Cognac.
Nobody likes hearing straight ad copy.
Right.
Like ever.
Right.
But I think that we figured out a way to make it more palatable.
I agree.
Not only is Wale a spokesman for Martell, but so is Quavo. Martell is bringing VS Cognac to a new level with the introduction of Martell VS Single Distillery, a cognac of exceptional richness and vivid fruit aromas. Martell VS Single Distillery reveals pleasant notes of plum, apricot, and candied lemon, and rich fruity flavors on the palate.
As a pioneer in the spirits world, Martell continues its legacy with Martell Blue Swift, the first ever VSOP cognac finished in Kentucky bourbon barrel.
Martell Blue Swift combines Martell's signature style of delicate fruit and plum notes, now complemented by the subtle sweetness of vanilla and toasted oak from the bourbon casks.
We're talking gourmet aromas and caramelized pears with subtle hints of vanilla and coconut and ginger and Candice fruits and plums.
Gonna buy the whole rack, gonna buy the whole rack, gonna buy the whole rack, gonna buy the whole stove.
With a smooth, long-lasting oak finish.
Alright, we done.
Shout outs to our friends over at Martell Cognac. Over 300 years of great tradition from the oldest of the 4 great cognac houses, Martell Cognac.
And now, you peckerheads, because we're not just stopping halfway through, you're gonna listen to the whole fucking show! We don't get it.
Yo, Wale, people have told us that you have or had the most poppin' private wrestling Twitter. Is that true?
That's an opinion.
I think it's true.
Yeah?
I think it's true.
What do you say on there that you can't say on your regular handle?
I don't have I just have one. I have one Twitter.
Do you feel like there's a lot of critics out there of your wrestling opinions?
I don't necessarily share my wrestling opinions. So I don't know what that means.
DZA, what do you think of Wale's wrestling opinions?
Well, personally, just because we have our own conversations, I think it's brilliant, and one day, we'll probably find a way to get up in there.
Wait, in the ring?
Nah.
Oh, to right. All right, but
yeah, it's a good gig. What do you think?
I
know somebody that might be involved, so I think
someone
it's
who's
cool.
connected.
Yeah, so, yeah.
What do you think of like when Vince McMahon and his family like get in the ring? Are you with that or nah?
I think it's for entertainment because people like to see the boss or the boss's kids get dealt with, or sometimes you want to see the boss kid perform. Sometimes, so I mean, with a Vince McMahon, like I just get happy to see Vince McMahon on TV now because he's getting older. He's not really out there like that. So it's like, even though he's a master heel,
tough as hell, though.
They all tough as hell. All of them.
Like legit.
Yeah, like legit. We watch Shane jump off a cage every year and watch his kids' reaction, and it's always the same reaction every year, where they don't know if he's really hurt or if he's good.
Yo, who's the guy who had like back problems and he's coming back now?
Daniel Bryan, but his neck problems.
Neck problems.
Yeah.
But like that's legit. Like
that's legit.
Career ending, and he's coming back.
Legit.
Like, how do you separate like a man and his like?
This way, we loved him, and he was the most popular wrestler anyway before it
happened.
So imagine what's gonna happen on Sunday when he come out for his first match in 2 years.
Oh, that's here.
Yep. And it's about to be crazy because I think it's gonna be a double cross, and I think Shane is gonna turn on him. And he gonna go against the Authority again because that was his thing.
Stunned silence from over here. Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon and the daughter, they're all like on TV.
They're all on
and
TV.
like wrestlers will like fight them or whatever.
Stephanie is fighting Ronda Rousey. Well, it's Triple H and Stephanie against Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. So that's one of the main events for this WrestleMania.
But is there ever like a WWE HR representative who's like, hey, like there's a problem within the culture here where you're fighting your bosses?
Not yet.
I think that'd be a dynamic character.
Yeah, that would be a dynamic. I would love that.
What did you think when Trump wrestled?
For one, we was kind of used to seeing Donald Trump on wrestling because if you was like a wrestling fan when you was a kid.
But he's a Hall of Famer, though?
Yeah, that's only because they hosted WrestleMania in Trump Plaza 4 and 5. Like literally WrestleMania 4 and 5 a long time ago. Yeah, and you know, he was one of the celebrities that always fuck with Vince McMahon in real life.
Wait, Wale, I need you to talk into the microphone. I don't got to do shit. By the way, nobody can hear what you said.
So, what happened with Trump? He hosted.
What you say, DZA?
Trump hosted WrestleMania 4 and 5.
I'm on my word capacity, so.
Yeah, he hosted WrestleMania 4 and 5 in Trump Plaza, and he has a personal relationship with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon actually, I think, funded some of his campaign.
Yeah.
So how do we feel about that?
I mean, it's
and his wife's involved with those politics.
I think those. I don't really like to get invested in that in real life because I don't really like. I just want to focus on wrestling.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't really kind of get into that, even though it's in the
It's
back
a
of
business,
my mind.
man, and I don't know who rock with who in real life over there because a lot of stuff be business. And man, I know 45 ain't my guy, but I know it's about 85% of that locker room that go out and perform every week, 3 times a week, put their neck on the line every night that I support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But also, I mean, like, if you go up the ladder enough at any company, it's like there's a white man at top who voted for Trump, and you're all supporting him.
That doesn't like it. Yeah, that's like loves him.
So, this is the biggest event of the year. What do you look forward to during this whole week and weekend?
I mean, I just like hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, you run into a lot of the same people down here.
Well, I wouldn't say not the same people. Well, yeah, with wrestling,
Like
WrestleMania, you'll run into the same people every year.
Yeah.
But I think just the whole, for one, is Wale Mania 4. I want to get to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a part of WrestleMania week, whatever. So that's always fun, and that's always something to look into and be excited to go to. And then it's everything else. We might go to NXT. We might go to ROH. It's always wrestling shit going on. So we all get to like be super cool nerds and go do what we do.
Have you been to like a small match where you didn't know who's fighting and you come out leaving like a fan of like one of those guys?
That's all indie.
That's all indie
shows
shows
is about. That's
For
all
real?
it's about.
I met Cesaro and Chris Hero watching an indie show, and I didn't know who the fuck was who. And I walked away being a fan after it was over, and then they actually made it to WWE. And it's like
You're like a talent scout.
Have an attachment, so it's like, I knew him when he was Claudio Castagnoli. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's an attachment when you follow these guys.
Does everybody still want to make it to the WWE, or are people like cool just doing like the independent circuit and make a living doing that?
Some people make a living in the independent circuit that they don't really care. You know what I mean? Like a Kenny Omega. Like, even though it's not independent because he's in New Japan. Japan is a whole nother circuit.
That's a pro league.
Yeah, he could care less about coming to the majors. Well, what we consider the majors, because he figures it's major where he's at. And he's probably making the same exact coin that he would probably make over here.
Really?
Unless, they make him a face and really make some money.
All right, so let's talk about Wale Mania for a second. So when you're putting this together, do you only reach out to rappers who fuck with wrestling?
It's natural. We don't reach out. It's just like, all right, man. Like, you hear about it enough, they come and be like, oh, I'm trying to come to that. All right, come through. It ain't like a reaching out thing. It ain't that overly done. Like, we come through. Whoever want to come to town, whoever was going anyways, you come through, pull up. You feel me?
So who's coming through tonight?
Well, we play it by ear. Like, it's not like when you start having times and this person, that person. A lot of people say they coming, but it's just like any other party. Like, some people like, oh well. Actually, Rosenberg to tell me like, yo man, I got a sore throat. I don't know if I'm coming. I'm like, all right, cool, my nigga. More space for these bitches.
Are you the Ebro of Summer Jam?
No. Summer Jam gives me anxiety as soon as I wake up. I like hyperventilate.
There's so many
I
people
need an inhaler that day, and I don't even have asthma. I'm like, Summer Jam, inhaler, please. 2 of them, thanks.
There's a lot of people who say the same thing. They're just like,
it's just, I was like, no,
right.
I'm not going. I'm
right.
fucking with that. It's too much.
Right.
It's too much. This is like the antithesis.
This
It's like
free
laid
form.
back. laid back. You got your Martell, you got your little vibes going. You got you got good music, and you got other fans. You got pretty girls there. We mixed some of these guys that be in here don't never even be around the type of caliber of women that come to my shows. So it's like they gonna stay around. They gonna do the wrestling podcast and go see meet Mark Henry and see their favorite wrestlers. But it's like you at a party like, oh shit, this is like some good shit. Mixed with this shit, I like them. I can fuck around and do this. That's the third time you ate chicken today, dog.
It's shrimp. It is shrimp.
Wow.
The same fucking thing, dog. You ain't eat no vegetables.
No,
today.
tuna is the chicken of the sea.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
No. Nobody makes fried tuna though. That's probably why
Yo, what was the best Wale Mania before this one tonight?
Last year was fun. I ain't gonna hold you.
What happened last year?
Last year, like a lot of rappers. I mean, a lot of wrestlers came on stage. It was just like when I was DJing. I went from DJing and rapping.
Do you have a separate DJ name?
Nah, we ain't thought of that yet. DJ is really DJ Money. What you on Postmates Money? Trying to find out you can get some chicken fried water.
Wait, what happened? What happened at last year's Wale Mania?
We was just going back and forth, and then like I was performing like a lot of rap. Like Samoa Joe came like at the very end, and it was like he came out. Everybody was just going crazy to see him on stage and stuff like that. Like it was just everybody just had a good time, like and we took this one picture, man. It was like me, Kaz, Mark Henry, DZA.
All like the black wrestlers.
Like all of us. It was just like.
Was it the New World?
Who's a racially ambiguous white guy?
It's tight, man.
It's a good getaway. It's like like All Stars. Like we all still kind of got to work. Like it's like we go to the games. We kind of feel like we're working. Like it's like WrestleMania is like dog. Like
This is like
Being a fan.
Speak into a mic. Say who you are.
Hey, this is Kaz. Watch the score uninterrupted every Friday. And Flair 2 every Monday. I wrestle rap every Saturday. Do
say Palooza every month. Yeah,
do say
Shameless
Palooza every
plug.
month. We'll be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
and I'm coming with the Martell. Cases of Martell.
So now, like I said, I've been to every Wale Mania so far, and it's like WrestleMania weekend's almost like Comic-Con, but you can actually go and kick it with the comic book heroes. You know what I'm saying? Like in real life.
Not their character.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Black Panther.
Like you exactly. Like you can't go to Comic-Con and kick it with like you can't go to Comic-Con and kick it with like Clark Kent, like when he's off duty, like the real Clark Kent, not the dude who plays him in the movie. Like that's actually him.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
We only think of the DJ Clark Kent.
DJ Clark.
No bull, right?
But nah, it's fun, man. It's like you just kind of get lost in it, and like I've been to All-Star Weekends, I've been to Grammy
This is
Awards,
why we love
I've been
it.
to- I've been to all these things, and it's like
This is why we love it.
it's just a different
This is why
vibe,
we
man.
watch.
Like it's just fun. It's
This
just
picture
like
is just so ridiculous. It's
nobody's
so
trying to
funny,
be
like-
too cool. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You've been to a bunch of these like Grammy weekends and
Yeah.
All-Star weekends, and like everybody has to be cooler than the next dude. What happened?
It's like the most narcissistic.
This nigga's an asshole.
So Wale just showed me a picture of two guys just standing next to each other, and I'm like, I don't get this at all.
It's him in a cutout version of himself.
Oh, I didn't even see
And
it.
they're like the picture's like, yo, like, and it's like he runs to everything. Like, so I'm like, bro, did you need any more assurance that you're the man? Okay, like, so funny. Like, I'm done. We about to eat chicken,
Bro,
go ahead. Sit down.
I don't want to sit. I'm hungry
Kaz.
too. Hey, buddies.
What are you looking forward to down here?
First off, it's New Orleans. It's my favorite city. That's not New York because there's lots of booze and food.
That's a
and,
great plug right there. What a plug.
And man, it's just fun, though. Like it's fun, especially like kicking it with these guys. Like we're all busy a lot, so like we always know WrestleMania weekend. We all gonna kick it and have fun and like.
Do you have
Just-
wrestling group chats?
Yeah, like we'll sit and tag. Like if some shit go down, we all get in a group text and all like.
What is
Talk to
the
each other.
name of the group text?
Nah, it's just our name.
Oh,
There's
okay,
there's no funny name for it.
That's
But
a
like
bummer.
it's one of those things where it's like you've been to a bunch of shit. Like like these are all artists that have been to like every single event weekend you could think of, whether it's spring break, whether it's All-Star, whether it's Grammys, whether it's Coachella, whether it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? And all those events are like. You're always posturing. It's like you got to be. Oh, do I got to wait online for this? Do I
Yes,
got to be
you
too
do.
cool for that? Do I got to be? You know what I'm saying? We're here like nobody's trying though. Like it's just fun. Like everybody just kind of like stay cool off for a little bit and just go be a big ass kid for a couple days. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it's fun, man. Like, I enjoy it, and you know, like we do it every year, and it's always a good time, man. We're never disappointed with it. It gets better every year.
What's the best prop you think in all of wrestling?
The best prop?
Yeah.
A chair, I guess. Table.
I would say.
I think we get excited when the tables come.
You know what? I'm a fan of the umbrella.
The umbrella is very
classy.
What do they do with an umbrella?
That.
I don't know. Like, it's
Eric,
classy because like you could kind of like still be cool with it and stylish, but like you get bopped over the head with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just walk out with a chair stylish. You can walk out with an umbrella stylish.
like Fonz with Bentley.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
and you know, maybe he'll hit you with it. Maybe he'll just sit there and pose with it. You don't know.
Well, what about like even more specifically, like, you know, like Jake the Snake had his snake. Like,
okay.
What about anybody else's accessories?
I fuck with Mr. Socko.
Yeah,
I fuck with Mr. Socko.
You don't like Mr. Socko?
Like
Wale
Mr.
did not
Socko?
like Mr. Socko.
I feel like this is my tag.
What is Mr. Socko? A sock?
He's a
Yeah,
sock.
that's that was Mankind's thing, right?
Yeah, that was man.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Guys, I've been a heel this entire
heel.
time.
Mr. Socko?
It was a sock
Socko.
puppet.
It was a sock puppet.
But the funny shit about that is like Mick Foley, Mankind, he's like this fucking like super brilliant, like I don't know, the guy like fucking
Stunt devil. They hated him.
Like Shakespearean talking type of dude. Who, if you look at him, he doesn't look like much. Looks like a fucking but the dude's fucking nuts. Like he's like a human stuntman. Like he will jump off or whatever. He will fight. He will put barbed wire around himself. Like he will make
Lost his
himself bleed. Lost his ear in the match.
God.
All that type of shit. He's really insane. But he's like a New York Times bestseller. Like he's fucking brilliant.
Wait, I don't want to sound ignorant here, but lost his ear like forever?
No, legitimately,
Like,
like half of
legit.
his ear is gone.
Like forever.
Legit.
Forget for sure.
Sucks.
Like his ear looks like this. Like it's not.
Past
It's not there.
cauliflower, yeah.
But you know and that's the funny shit about wrestling. Like you never know what's gonna make you super popular. Like this motherfucker was already doing crazy shit before all that. And the thing that made him a household name was putting a sock on his hand and talking and putting it in people's mouth.
simplest shit.
And that shit made him millions and millions of dollars. So it's like,
But no one raps about Mr. Socko.
exactly.
What rappers have the best like promos, but not the best actual like in the ring?
Rappers?
No,
Might be
I'm
like
sorry.
wrestlers.
What wrestlers? What did I say?
You said rappers.
So rappers.
Yeah. But what
I was
rappers?
gonna pick some rappers.
Yeah, that was about to be damn. I gotta bury a rapper.
I was about to say, damn.
Fucked up.
I thought this was a friendly call.
So wrestlers with good promos with bad wrestling ability. That's fucked up because I kind of want to answer that because I'm friends with some of them.
Oh, it's possible though, right?
Oh,
Like,
wait, so
it
now
happens.
you're
There's definitely some people that could talk a good
one
game, but
person
they're just
that
not
I'm
really.
sure of.
You can say it.
But I don't. Yeah.
Say it. Go ahead.
All right. So Enzo is the best talker.
Oh man, but Enzo will tell you that himself.
It's the best.
Enzo
talker.
will tell you that himself.
Oh,
He's-
Kaz,
but-
you knew this though.
yeah,
But his wrestling ability isn't where his talk game is.
Yeah.
Like his talk game got him the title.
His
Because
yeah,
he's
his-
such a great antagonist.
He legitimately made himself a star just being able to
Legit.
talk. Like,
Legit.
he would go into the ring. His match would be like 10 seconds long. Get his ass beat. Everybody knew he was never going to win a match. But every time he came out, the crowd went wild
crowd
because he
would
could
pop.
talk his ass off, and he was basically like spitting 16s when he would come out.
Literally,
and, just, you know,
and he's so hip hop. Like,
yeah, like he would come out with like
sneakers,
Gucci,
like
fucking,
everything
you know,
was just
outfits.
hip-hop.
and
Does that
shit,
mean like the next time he actually won, like people went nuts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like eventually.
Like if he comes back,
he's
the
like
people are
Rudy?
gonna go nuts.
yeah.
He's who?
He's like Rudy, like the movie Rudy, like the
So
small
at
guy.
one point he was. At one point he was like he was definitely a guy who had more bark than bite.
Yeah.
He was like definitely, you know, the guy that's gonna talk mad shit, but you know, like he knows he's gonna get his ass kicked, but like he's not gonna back down, and that's what people liked about him. Like, you know, he's like 5'7", 5'8". He's a short dude.
So he is Rudy.
You know what I'm saying? He was tight, man. I miss Enzo. I thought Enzo was a superstar, but you know he got caught up with some BS. So hopefully,
Some bullshit.
you know.
A phone scandal?
Some things. It was. I ain't gonna talk about it. 'Cause that's my dude. Like
That's
for
my
real,
dude,
for real.
too.
So you know, I hope he lands on his feet, and you know,
Yeah, when he comes back, the crowd is gonna lose their
yeah,
minds.
definitely.
Yo,
They wasn't ready
hot
for
in here.
him. Yeah.
Talk about what you're hoping that will happen in the ring this weekend.
Oh man, it's I got to see AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura fight
5-star match
for the first time in real life, and those are two dudes who made their name. Like, you talk about guys that were popular on the indies that never had to come to WWE. Those are two guys who were stars before they even came here. Like, you know what I compare it to? It's like if you're a fan of somebody before they get signed, and it's like, you know, oh, I knew Kendrick when he was putting out Overly Dedicated and yada yada yada, and it's like, you know what I mean, like, he never needed to sign that major deal, but they signed it and it's only exceeded your expectations. Then you're like, oh man, but you're never gonna get that OG classic material that you got from him before, because, you know, Nakamura is never gonna come from Japan, and then he ends up coming from Japan, and then you're like, oh, but they're never gonna put them in a match, and then they put them in a match at WrestleMania for the world title. And it's like, if you're a fan of people who just tell great stories in the ring that like hit hard, who are athletic, like Shinsuke Nakamura is a legitimate, you know, MMA fighter. Like he's had what, a 12-4 record, like in real fights. You know what I'm saying? But he's like a Japanese fucking, you know, what's the lead singer from Queen?
Freddie Mercury.
He's a Japanese Freddie Mercury. Like, he comes out and he's mad, like
flamboyant,
and he wears jackets and he does real like odd stuff, but it's mad entertaining, and he will kick the shit out of you.
So he's a young thug.
He's a young thug. He's like Young Thug, dog. Like, he's just mad eccentric, but legit will wrap circles around you or beat the snot out of you.
Has there ever been anything like The Miz? Like somebody who came from...
Oh, man,
like,
never.
He was on... Was it
He was
Real
on
World
Real
or
World?
Road World?
Real World New York with Coral. I remember that.
And then, well, what'd you think at the time? Were you like, yo, he's just a huge fan?
I just thought he'd just be a huge fan. I thought he'd be a guy who, like, you know, I thought he'd be somebody who'd be, like, good on, like, commentary.
Right.
Like, he'd be, like, a fucking, you know...
Like a
Corey Graves or
like
or
a
Gene
Smoke
Okerlund. I thought he'd be one of those guys for a couple of years, and then, like, you know, once his like real world fame fizzled out, they'd kind of let him go. But he like legitimately turned himself into like a surefire like first ballot
future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, like,
absolutely. You can't even front on him.
You can't front on him no more. And that was the cool thing to do when he first got in. It was like, you know, it was like hating on fucking, you know, like some
B.
It's like hating on Cardi B. It's like hating on 69. It's like hating on like,
well,
6ix9ine has more reasons.
He's
I
done
think.
some,
well, I mean, in a sense where we're not gonna talk about that stuff. But I mean, in a sense where it's easy to just like not take him seriously, because like, dog, you're the real world, dude. Nobody gives a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? But he turned himself into a legitimate, you know, superstar in a sense where like he's already main evented WrestleMania. It's like he's been world champ. Like, the fact that he's even like
his promo
been at a WrestleMania at all is like, you know, as a fan, like, okay, you're good. Like, that's the moment. Nothing's gonna top this. But like, he just keeps topping himself, and it's crazy because you've seen him do this shit in the real world, and like you've never seen anything like it.
First of all, Kaz, I don't think anybody was expecting any cogent arguments on this podcast, and then you come in like acting real.
I'm sorry. I like to talk about this stuff. It's fun for me. Do you want to talk about this stuff, sir? You good?
I have a long night ahead of me. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna stay awake for the next 4 hours now that there's no break time.
I got some Jolt gum. You ever have some Jolt gum?
I'm scared of it. Sounds like Molly, and I'm gonna.
Do you want some
It's
Martell?
not Molly.
Do you want-
It's
yeah.
caffeinated chewing gum. It makes
you
your
like
breath
some
nice,
Martell?
and it wakes you up. It's got caffeine.
I do that.
I joint has saved my life.
Yeah, we're gonna get Wale some vitamins. He's gonna be up all night.
Don't mix it with Martell, though. Just drink Martell straight and drink it responsibly.
That's right.
Were there any characters that you thought would go way further than they did and then did not?
Hell yeah, we see that shit every time.
Me and rap.
I don't know.
Chris Masters.
Chris Masters is a good one.
What happened to Chris Masters?
Bobby Lashley, that's another one.
Jackson.
I thought, matter of fact, when you were talking about the Trump stuff, he was the guy who represented Trump. Like when they had, you know, when Donald Trump was fighting. Before, well, he was always heel. But like before, you know, he was at WrestleMania and they had the Battle of the Billionaires, Vince McMahon versus Donald Trump. And Donald Trump had Bobby Lashley representing him. Vince McMahon had Umaga representing him. And like Bobby Lashley was this big, good-looking black dude, super muscular, like Brock Lesnar type dude. I'm like, oh, that dude's he's gonna
make
the
it.
shit. And like, you know, this is obviously before we all know how shitty of a person Donald Trump is, but it's like, oh, nah, this is tight because it's like, you know, you got the celebrity rub and like he's on fucking Access Hollywood and all these mainstream shows because you're next to Donald Trump. So I'm like, okay, he's gonna be a star, and he's not a nobody, but like I definitely thought he was gonna be bigger than he was.
Yo, I want to hear from all three of you guys. Is this the best era of wrestling right now?
I think it's the most the most abundant.
Isn't it like football though? Like it's always got to be like the present time is always technically got to be the time because you don't know what's gonna happen.
No, because it can be like SNL because it's like, oh, like SNL was the best in the 90s or whatever.
But maybe that's nostalgia though, because maybe in 20 years
that's
you might
fair.
be like, dang, you know what? Like them Donald Trump joints aged well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's how I go. Don't stick me with the microphone. I got to do. No. I'm from New York. I'm from Harlem. I just get out, just talk niggas out of shit.
I would say
I'm back though.
It's definitely the most abundant.
Hey man, you laying on that man bed, Flex? This where they really staying at, Slim. That's why I'm trying not to be all like laying on beds and shit like.
It's like it's with everything right now that gets better with the internet. Like it's, you know,
everything's not better with the internet. No,
I mean, like it's more accessible. It's more abundant.
And I don't like it. It's just being perfectly fucking nuts.
You know, you could just shut it off.
No, still the thoughts. I hear the letters in my sleep.
You hear the tapping of the fingers.
And I just hear all the nasty things.
You don't have the quality filter. I got a quality filter.
It's not even bullying. I feel bullied by other people. What people say about other people, and it's heartless. These people with motherfucking egg emojis, and they have so much power over people. Not me.
Well,
people.
Let me just say something real quick.
Online bullying is real.
You only give them power when you respond to them.
That's not me, though.
Friend.
I don't like what I saw under Bad Baby's fucking comments the other day. She's 14. I was so bad for her.
I just want to say a couple things to you. Well, number one, you know you're in a room full of friends here.
This is true.
Number two,
I'll be there for you.
No, we're Seinfeld guys.
Yo,
Then why we're not here? We're not friends.
Can I ask you a real quick question?
Yes.
Who cleaned up your shoes after you threw them all around your place, like after that epic?
I moved.
Yeah, but someone had to clean them up, right?
I moved.
Did you really?
Yeah. Literally moved. If you pay attention to like the most recent one, it's like you could tell the different setup. I moved.
Maybe I didn't see the most recent one.
I was moving. That's what I'm saying. That's why I could do it. It's like I was moving anyway.
I saw you unboxed so many pairs of shoes. It was epic. Like, did you know you were going to do that?
Nah, I didn't know I was doing it until I started getting like text messages and DMs of like, keep going.
Yeah.
I'm at work. I'm bored.
Did you know you inspired like, you know, people like Upscale Vandal and everybody to like do those like shoe like fights or whatever, like
shoe
battles?
Shoe battles.
That joke is something that Jerry would have said. Do you have? I read somewhere that you have shoe fights or something.
Yo, by the way, shoe fights are better than cage matches.
Shoe fight. I don't like that. I like it because it's funny, but I don't like being involved in that. Like shoe fights. No, I was just.
Is that because you don't lose?
I was just doing whatever, man. I don't know.
No, it was great. I thought it was awesome.
I heard. Thank you. I appreciate that, but I never even thought. I was just like, all right, let me keep doing this shit. Like it's nothing to do.
Wait, who would win the shoe fight? Us or Rap Radar?
Shoe fight? Well, you got the Pippins on, lady. You probably wore them maybe like 4 or 5 times. So I'm assuming there's more where that came from. You got some MX 90s on. I don't think
these are the 30th anniversary ones.
I don't think that. I don't think those guys are into sneakers as much as you guys.
Yo, Wale,
so you definitely win the shoe fight.
Thank God.
In the first quarter.
If you were offered the opportunity to actually wrestle in a match,
I'd be a manager.
So you would? That's the person who like does not wrestle. He just talks.
Just chills.
Have you been asked to wrestle?
Yeah, but I ain't in shape enough to do that. Like I still got some. I can box. I can't do all that running around and throwing people around stuff.
All right. So last second predictions for WrestleMania this weekend.
Roman Reigns gonna win. Ronda Rousey gonna win, and everything else is up in the air for real. Probably, I think.
Agreed.
Kaz, any crazy opinions here on what's gonna happen?
I'm gonna drink.
I'm gonna drink a lot. No, I'm kidding. I think AJ goes over. I think AJ wins, and I think the Usos win. I think
New Day wins.
I think Undertaker comes back in the motorcycle.
He's retired or no?
We don't know. Oh. They're keeping it now.
Wait, before we go, does out somebody who's a secret wrestling fan?
Out somebody?
Out somebody. Out him. Out him.
A secret wrestling fan? Who's a secret? I don't know. Really, a secret wrestling fan.
Adam. Oh wait, hold on.
On Monday,
Hold on. Hold on.
High shit, watching this in the studio.
The same conversation happens every time I talk to somebody about wrestling. Like, I used to watch when I was younger.
Right.
Everybody did.
No, we did not. You know we did not. DZA. No, I promise. Do your DZA? Do your kids love wrestling as much as you?
I want them to. I think like my mom and my dad got me into wrestling.
Yeah.
Right. But after I got into it, I loved it so much that they just got off of it and just let me do my thing.
Yeah.
So with my kids, like I let my kids do their thing. Like they see me watching it, so they know the characters and they know what time it is. But my son loves Spider-Man, so I let him stay with Spider-Man and Hulk and Wolverine and those type of guys. And my other son likes the internet, so so it's like whatever.
Who would win in a cage match, Spider-Man or Vince McMahon?
Spider-Man.
I'm going with Vince because he booked it. If he fighting Spider-Man, he not gonna let Spider-Man go over. Marvel doesn't beat WWE.
All right. Well, we're gonna let you guys go. Wale Mania tonight.
If I make it now.
What are you talking about?
I need to go take a siesta.
Is it just down the street?
I need to take a siesta.
Guys, it's been an honor to talk to you.
Ring of honor.
A ring of honor to talk to you guys about wrestling. We will see you tonight at Wale Mania.
You know what I'm
At
saying?
Martell Mania.
Martellapalooza.
Martelli Paloozi.
Soldier Boy Martellum.
Martellathon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks everyone for listening to this new episode of A Waste of Time with It's The Real, the World Travelers. It's The Real. Jeff, if people want to find out more about us or this podcast or our live events or our book or our music and all the rest, where can they go?
You can always go to itsthereal.com, ItsTheReal, no apostrophes, no spaces. There are never any apostrophes or spaces. Go there for all of your It's The Real needs, all of our merch, all of our news, all of our performances, everything that you need, it is there. If you go to soundcloud.com/awasteoftime, you can find all of our old episodes and our upcoming ones, as well as if you go to iTunes, search for A Waste of Time with It's The Real. You can always find all of our music on all streaming services, including Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, Apple Music, Pandora. It is there. Search for Teddy Bear Fresh by It's The Real. If you want to find us on the internet, we are at Twitter at It's The Real, Instagram at It's The Real, Facebook at It's The Real, It's The Real on Reddit, It's The Real on Twitch.
And no one else out there should claim It's The Real.
No.
This podcast will not go anywhere. Not Atlanta, not Philly, not New Orleans, not Toronto, not Los Angeles, not London, not anywhere, unless we tell our people to tell their people to tell their people to spread the word. So, Jeff, who do you want to tell?
I want to tell Young Marlon Yadig on Instagram, who came up to us at Wale Mania and said how much it meant to have us in his town.
That was
really
awesome.
Appreciated that. Marlon Alexander from New Orleans, shout to him, and hopefully we'll be back down in New Orleans soon.
Yes, and I would like to shout out our friend Teray down there in Atlanta, his second city. He's really from Coney Island. He claims New York still, but he owns a home down there in Atlanta, and we got to see him and his family and his extended family. But most importantly, we want to give Teray his full credit, because Teray was the guy who
got us to stop cooking?
Yeah, he did that. Teray came over for his episode, and he didn't eat our food. He brought his own. He was on a beans-only diet.
Yeah, I mean, like, he had been on a pescatarian diet, then he went to beans.
Strictly beans.
We were like, well, we're not cooking for people anymore.
So that was the end of that. But
yeah,
he also got us in touch with Fonte.
Yes.
He linked us, he connected us, he let us build with Fonte, who was on the podcast not too long ago, and we want to give Teray his full credit.
Right, because we had shouted him out in an intro that we didn't use, and we also shouted him out on Twitter and on Instagram.
But it wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough for Teray.
This year, though, Jeff,
yeah,
I think can close that chapter.
It covers it.
Shout out to Teray. He's got that Southern hospitality down there. Shout out to his whole family, even the cousins that we met for the first time and he met for the first time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Teray. Shout out to everybody who's leaving ratings and reviews on iTunes. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, Jeff, not for real, for real.
Sure.
See you guys next week.
Buy Martell Cognac.